Welcome to the 11th episode of Inside the Valley. Dustin, how we doing? Thanksgiving week, right? Nothing else going on this week? Just Thanksgiving?
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. I
Yeah.
started I start a new job next Monday, so this is my last week of my old job. By the way, just pro tip, never do the 4 weeks of notice thing. Terrible. Being at a
Yeah.
job that you know you're leaving for 4 weeks is I don't recommend it.
Why is it? Because you've been super diligent and definitely on top of everything these last 4 weeks?
Yep, been super focused and super receptive to all the criticism that I've gotten in the past 3 weeks for sure. Yep.
Well, this podcast is the new job podcast as I start a new job on Monday as well. So you start the following week, but I start Monday. So this is, if you come here, you just get a new job. That's just what happens.
That's awesome, man.
Dustin, this hate week, we got the Palmetto Bowl this weekend,
Mhm.
and you're not smiling. Why aren't we smiling? We should have the most confidence in the world. I mean, we just beat Furman 45-10.
Yeah, I mean, we beat an in-state opponent already, kinda beat them.
I don't know how I felt. I didn't know how I felt about that game. I'm gonna be honest with you. We'll be quick about this Furman preview. I know a lot of people want to hear us talk about the Paladins. Don't care about the Gamecocks, but we're going to spend more time talking about the Gamecocks than we are the Paladins. So if you are a Furman fan, I'm sorry, we're not going to spend much time on it. Clemson looked awful in this game. Some of it seemed like it was reserved. Adam Randall ran the ball twice for 2 yards. That was awesome. If you want to encapsulate the entire game of how it felt, I believe it was the second drive. The first drive. It's 1st and 10. We run the ball for 9 yards, and then we lose 2 yards, and then we gain 1 yard, and then we go on 4th down. So that was the second drive, and we don't get it. So 3 tries to get 1 yard, couldn't do it against the Furman Paladins, the FCS Furman Paladins. I'm at a loss for words. Gideon Davidson, you take away his 28-yard rush, he was awful. 6 rushes. I wouldn't say he was awful. I'm being a little harsh. I know I'm being a little harsh. What's that? 44, 24. So he would have had 6 rushes for 24 yards, 4 yards of rush. Not bad. You're playing Furman. You should be doing better than that. David Ezamame, I thought he played pretty well until he got hurt. Almost 6 yards a carry. That's kind of what you're expecting. Vizina had one good run. Keith Adams got tackled 94 yards in the backfield in one of his runs. That was awesome. Cade Klubnik, hell of a game with the legs. 2 rushes for negative 16 yards. You just got to love it. You got to love it. But then our king, Baby Vic, came in. Dustin, what did Baby Vic do?
He was explosive, man. We talked about it on the podcast. I told you that they want to do something with this kid because he's an explosive athlete, and that's exactly what he showed. Longest rush of the year, longest rush from scrimmage against Furman with our QB4. I mean, it's impressive, man.
Well, and you know what? He should have been the QB4 all year. The offense looked lethargic with a minute, right? We definitely didn't drive down the field easily his 2 drives.
Listen, I'll listen to the argument, I guess, that it's Furman and all that, and we shouldn't overreact to what Chris Denson's doing. Guess what? We saw every other quarterback. You know what the score was whenever Vizina was the quarterback? I'm pretty sure Furman beat us 10-0 whenever Vizina was in.
And that score a freaking point.
In that stretch from when Vizina took a snap and then he was let off the field for Pierman, I'm pretty sure Clemson lost that stretch of time 10-0 against Furman. So
that tells me if Cade Klubnik starts, we beat the bricks off of SMU.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't want to say that I'm out on Vizina. I think that Vizina I think Vizina's probably earned the right to compete for a spot next year. But man, if we don't do something about looking for a starter level prospect in the transfer portal, we're not going to have a good year next year.
Dustin, he was 9 for 15 for 52 yards against Furman.
Yeah, pretty
See
poor.
you, buddy. To put that in perspective, Cade Klubnik was 9 for 15 for 159 yards. So 100 yards more on the same amount of completion, same amount of attempts, and 2 touchdowns. It says Vizina threw a touchdown. I don't remember him throwing it. Christian Bettencourt. Great play by Christian Bettencourt. So Vizina did score 7 points, but he did get outscored 10-7.
And then I was texting you during the game, and I was basically saying, look, I honestly think that they should lean into this. I think you have Denson, who's a great runner. I think you have Tate Reynolds, who's coming in, who's the 26 signee, who's a great runner, way better runner than he is passer at the moment, right?
Yeah.
I think you sign a dual threat portal QB who obviously can be electric with his legs. And if that's your QB room with those three main pieces, I think you can win some games next year. I mean, depending on who the OC is and what else you do with the portal at offensive line and who you retain at wide receiver. But I just think that with Clemson struggling to run the ball as much as they have, I think having a dynamic athlete at the quarterback position would remedy a lot of that, just like we saw Chris Denson do. I mean, the dude made people miss in the open field. He ran through arm tackles. He ran away from defenders. Like, I'm all in on giving this kid a real shot at running an offense that's kind of designed for him a little bit.
I mean, he was phenomenal. I mean, and outside of James, I'm forgetting his name for Furman. I thought the defense played okay. Evan James for Furman, shout out. He actually had a pretty good game. 6 catches, 36 yards, 1 touchdown. That was a really good catch in the back of the end. A really good throw as well.
He'll be getting a call.
Yeah, absolutely. What's his height?
Oh, he's got to be 5'10", 5'9".
5'11".
He's 5'10" then.
True freshman out of Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely 5'8". So Furman, you did it. You played well. Furman's rush defense. Hats off to Furman's rush defense. They came in there and they stoned us. I don't know how. And again, like you said, we're playing Furman. We're probably playing vanilla. Don't care. We should have the athletes. We should have beaten them 100-0. We should have had the Pat Narduzzi Pitt versus Notre Dame game.
Yeah, if you ended the game before Chris Denson came in, Clemson rushes for 113 yards and they win 31-10.
Awful.
It's bad.
Awful. So I was not pleased with this weekend at all. We'll run through our keys of the game real quick. Dustin, you were cash money. You were 2 for 2 with your offensive and defensive keys. Your offensive key was no penalties and no turnovers. We didn't get either. I don't remember the offense getting 1 penalty. Maybe they did, and I just don't remember. Statistically, I went back in there and looked, didn't see them on there anyway. So, again, I could have missed it. I went to a farming school. Defensive key, you said don't get embarrassed on the ground. Hey, we held Furman to 66 yards rushing on 2.8 yards per carry. I would say that's not getting embarrassed. I would say it's pretty good. My offensive keys, no injuries. Well, we lost our starting tight end for the season. And I say for the season very lightly because we have 1 game left, maybe, obviously 2. But he tore his patella, so he wouldn't be playing until probably the summer of next year. Sucks for him. It's awful timing. Just terrible. It always sucks for a guy to get hurt. It really sucks for someone to get hurt like that at the end of the year. Not even because the Carolina game's coming up, just for him. Because the recovery time is going to take up everything he could have used to get prepped for next year.
And he was injured last spring as well. He had a shoulder injury, shoulder surgery, so he didn't get a spring workout, spring practice in last spring either. So that's really kind of hindering his development. And I mean, it kind of stinks for these guys when they go into offseason negotiations with an injury, just from a personal standpoint, if he's going to negotiate more NIL or if he did have some desire to enter the transfer portal, I mean, you kind of screw yourself there with that injury.
It might help us. Maybe if he was thinking about leaving, maybe now he thinks about staying because where's he going to go now? You look at it, I said score 40. We got 45. It was an ugly 45, but we got 45. Which hats off to Furman's coach. What's his name?
I have no idea.
Anyway, after the game, they asked him if he was mad about Dabo running up the score, and he said he didn't think they were running up the score. He thought if his guys need to stop him, they need to stop him. I thought it was really cool for him to just not be rude about it. We're letting the 4th-string guys play. Oh, that's what he said. He said Dabo could have ran up. He could have kept his foot on the gas a lot earlier in the game, and he didn't. So, again, I wish he would have. It is football. The point of football is to stop the other team, not to be nice. Next, run for 200, pass for 200. We somehow ran for 200 yards and passed for 237 yards. It was an ugly 200 yards rushing and 200 yards passing. But they don't ask how, they ask how many. That's what they said about my prom date. She might have been ugly, but she was there, and I was there with her. Defensive keys, 1 for 3, forced 2+ turnovers. We got exactly 2, so I don't know if that counts, if that should be a push. 1 interception, 1 fumble. We forced 2 fumbles. Didn't quite get on the second one. I said 5 sacks. We got 2. Will Helt got 1. And I'm forgetting who had the other. 10.5 tackles for loss, or 10 plus tackles for loss. We had 9. Finally we're inching closer to that 10. Spoiler alert, this will be the 4th week in a row that I asked for 10 plus tackles for loss. 4th week in a row. But let's jump into the Palmetto Bowl. It's hate week. You got South Carolina. We're going to South Carolina, to Willie B. Williams-Brice, which, if you've never been, is a very, very difficult place to play. I've been there many times. It's on the SEC network, not the Cartoon Network. So that's good. So that's positive. South Carolina's favored. Last week we were favored, I think, by what, 5.5. Coming into this week, we're now underdogs by 2.5.
Yeah,
Dabo is an underdog.
I saw that it was the first time that South Carolina's been favored over Clemson since 2013.
Holy smokes! And they won that game. That was my freshman year. They won that game. That was a good game.
But first time in 12 years they've been favored.
Yeah, and they deserve it. They deserve it. Or I don't know if they deserve it. We don't deserve it.
Yeah, they don't deserve anything.
Yeah, this game should be over. The spread should be 0. It's like, we really don't want to give you anything. Someone is going. You have to just pick a winner, because we have no idea what's going to happen in this game. Over unders at 46.5. I think that's spot on. I think this is going to be the battle to get to 30. If somebody gets to 30, I think they win. This game could be a blowout where South Carolina just jumps on us. Well, we can get that in a minute. South Carolina has played Virginia Tech, SC State, Kentucky, and Coastal to victory. What is something in common about all those teams, Dustin?
They're bad football teams.
They're very, very bad. They are the stellar of their respective conferences, except for SC State. Shout out SC State. They won the MEAC, but they are in the FCS. They are an HBCU, and they do not play the level of talent that South Carolina is used to playing. And Coastal Carolina. So a team that has struggled in the G5 this year. So haven't really beaten anybody. Now, you flip the coin, the teams they've lost to, and you're like, okay, I understand why they lost. They lost to Vanderbilt, Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 playoff teams that they've lost to. The game they're playing this weekend is not a playoff team. So we're kind of in the middle. I would put us in the LSU range. I mean, we're similar to LSU. They lost to LSU in a very, very good game. Very ugly game, but very, very good game. I wouldn't put us in the same boat as Virginia Tech or Kentucky. So I think we're right there where it's going to be a playable, winnable game for both teams. Dustin, what are your opening thoughts? What do you think? Like, coming into this game, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? I have bad feelings. I have bad thoughts. I feel like you've got the flu.
Well, it's one of those things, like Clemson, clinched bowl eligibility against Furman, and obviously South Carolina isn't bowl eligible no matter what happens this weekend. But I just feel like, as a whole, and this kind of sounds like a Dabo storyline, but it's the last meaningful game for these seniors to play together, right? And these seniors haven't really dominated South Carolina in their time here. I mean, they're 1-2 if you've been here 4 years. So I mean, they lost both games at Death Valley, won 2 years ago in Williams-Brice. So they obviously want to go out on a high note. And I think that you're going to get the effort from the guys. I don't think anyone's going to loaf through this week or not want to win this game. So it's one of those things. I think both teams are going to give their best shot. I think both teams, obviously have some deficiencies. I don't think either team feels really good about the level of football that they're playing right now or have played throughout this year. I don't think either team is where they expected to be. But all the stats and all the numbers and all that stuff, just throw it out the window, man. It's just one of those games where it's just going to be, it's going to be gritty. Something's going to bounce one way or the other. And, a team's going to have to win this game. I don't know how many points it's going to take to win. You said 30. I think if Riley gets to 30 with this offensive line, I think we should stand up and give him a round of applause, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he deserves more than a round of applause with our hands, but I'm not going to go there. Listen, this is a Foxborough game, Dustin. This is a Foxborough game. Because let me tell you, every person this week, instead of talking good about their team, is going to be saying, oh, you're going to beat the crap out of us. Nobody's talking trash and saying, we're going to smoke you, blah, 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 belt the ass. Nobody's saying any of that stuff. It's all, yeah, we suck. Cartoon Network game. 11 a.m. bowl of cereal game, right? It's not this is a Foxhole game. This is when you have to earn your fandom. You don't earn your fandom in 2015, 2016, 2018, 2019 when you go to the national championship, when you win the national championship. Those are easy games, easy seasons to be fans. This is a foxhole game. You're going to find out who the real fans are. Get down in your bunker. Get down in your trench. The machine gun fire is going over above your head, and we got to be optimists. We got to know that we're going to make it to the other side. We got to get through no man's land and make it to the postseason. And this season can be won if we beat South Carolina this weekend. I know we hate to hear that with how this season's gone. This season can be won. We can call it at least chalk if we win this game. I thoroughly think that because if we lose this game, no one's going to give a crap about the bowl game. No one is going to give a crap. If we win this game, hey, there's an opportunity to win 8. There's an opportunity to end on a high note. There's an opportunity to take a lot of momentum into next year. We have got to win this game. We've got to. We haven't beaten the SEC in 3 years since we played South Carolina. We got drummed by Georgia, beat by LSU, beat by Texas, beat by South Carolina. We're 0-4 the last 4 games against the SEC. Something has got to give. Something's got to give. And it's got to be this weekend. It's got to be. So my opening thoughts are, this is a foxhole game. Get close with your loved ones. The hell with Thanksgiving. We got.
You sound like you're about to buckle a chin strap, dude. I mean, like, are you all right?
No, I'm not all right. I'm ready to freaking go. I'm ready to freaking go. Dabo said he ain't quitting. I ain't quitting either. So let's get the tail of the tape real quick. I'm not going to go through all the statistics. I want to highlight a couple things, though. So to talk about the battle in this game is going to be won or lost in the trenches. I think both of us would stay and agree wholeheartedly that the trenches, both offensively and defensively, have been major disappointments for both South Carolina and Clemson. And let's put some statistics to that. So sacks allowed. South Carolina is 131st out of 136 teams in sacks allowed. They're allowing 4 sacks a game, 3.8 to be exact, and they're losing 8.7, almost 9 yards a sack. So ouch.
Oof.
TFLs allowed. Their rushing offense is allowing they're 127th in tackles for loss allowed, 7.5 tackles for loss per game, and they're losing almost 4 yards per tackle for loss. Ouch. Okay, you can get them off time, and rush offense has just been awful for them and us. I think they're 125th. They are 124th. Excuse me. Let me give you your one spot, and we're at 109th. So there's nothing for us to really stand proud on that. And then we go into their defensive line. 81st in the country in sacks. You got Dylan Stewart on your defensive line, and you're 81st in the country in sacks. 1.9 sacks per game, and they're causing the other team to lose about 6.89 yards per sack. TFLs are 82nd in the country, so just as bad. 5.2 TFLs per game, and they're making you lose about 4 yards. Clemson. There's no way with all the talent we have on our trenches that we're pretty similar to them. Well, surprisingly, offensively, we've only allowed 1.5 sacks per game. So that's good for 38th in the country. Not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all. You'd be shocked, but we don't get sacked very often. TFLs, 143rd in the country. Not too bad. 4.7 TFLs per game. Given up, 3.5 yards of loss. You know what? The reason that is we get hit at the line of scrimmage so often. And Adam Randall is 500 pounds when you do inertia and momentum. You know, big smart guy over here. Talk about some science.
Uh-huh.
His inertia is giving him at least 3 yards no matter where you hit him. So not too shabby, not too good. Very average. Our defensive line. Dustin, if you hadn't looked at this stat at all, gut reaction. How good do you think we are at sacks and TFLs?
Middle of the road. I would say 63rd in the country.
Dustin, we are 21st in the country in sacks. We are 26th in the country in TFLs. We're averaging almost 3 sacks per game, and we're averaging almost 6.5 tackles for loss per game.
What in the world, man?
So I was thinking about it because I had the same exact thought as you. I thought we were going to be right around them in the 80s, 70s. We're really good at getting teams off time on third down. How many times has it been 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and long, and teams convert it? We're good at getting you in those off time downs, and then we piss down our leg when it matters the most. So, first down, second down, Clemson, Hall of Fame defense. Third down, all you got to do is run a slant, and you've got us for at least 10, 15 yards. Easy. Key stats for this game, Dustin. What you got?
Well, offensively, I guess we should address it. Cade Klubnik has 0 pass touchdowns against the South Carolina Gamecocks in his career.
That's disgusting. 0. How many picks does he have? 2, right?
2. So the first year, 2023, Khalil Barnes had the scoop and score, and then our kicker from the couch in Charleston had 3 field goals. And then last year, Cade Klubnik had 2 rushing touchdowns to score 14 points, but 0 pass touchdowns in his career against South Carolina, and that's got to change on Saturday.
It really does. That is a disgusting stat. Now, last year, I think he had some success throwing the ball, though.
Yeah, I think he threw for 280 last year.
Yeah,
had a pretty efficient day too. I think he was like 24 for 30 something. So he had a good day passing. Just was never able to find pay dirt there.
Yeah, and then the pick came on the last play of the game for us offensively. Just a devastating loss. I mean, marched right down the field. I got one for us. So we already did the sacks per game in the TFLs, but the away team has won the last 5 matchups in this game.
That's wild, man. That really is.
And that's 2024. Carolina won at Clemson. 2023, we won at Carolina. 2022, Carolina won at Clemson. 2021, we won at Williams-Brice. 2019, because we didn't play in 2020, we won at Williams-Brice. So we got that going for us this weekend. We got that going for us. Dustin, if we want to win this game offensively, what do we have to do?
Offensively, what do we have to do?
Offensively, what are our keys to success? What do we have to do to win this game?
I honestly, for me, in games like this, your special players just have to play special.
Who are our special players? Let's call them out.
Your TJ Moores, your Antonio Williams, your Adam Randall, all those guys, all 3 of those, they need to be productive, right? You can't have a dip from any one of those 3. And obviously, Cade Klubnik's important. He's going to touch the ball every down. But those 3, as far as your skill position, Antonio Williams is close to scratching some numbers in the record books. I think he's 6 catches away, 110 yards away, and a touchdown away. If that's his day on Saturday, that's a good day, right?
Yeah.
If Antonio goes 6 catches for 110 and a touchdown, I think I'd take that right now if you'd give it to me. So, TJ Moore. Obviously, he's had kind of an up and down year. I think that obviously getting him going is crucial on Saturday. But it's one of those things. It's going to be a couple of moments. It's going to be a couple of plays, and you just want to be the one making the plays more often than not. And I think Adam Randall needs to have a really good day. I don't think we can just rely on Cade Klubnik to drop back and throw for 300 on these guys. I think their pass defense is pretty dang good. So you're going to need Randall to break some tackles, and hopefully he can have something similar to Louisville game and have a couple big runs.
Yeah, and I think we see Brandon Cisse, the Sumter's finest, the NC State transfer. I think he's going to lock up our matchup with Antonio Williams. I wouldn't doubt if we see him follow. What you can do to combat that, put Williams in the slot. You don't have to put him in the boundary all the time. Keep him in the slot. Make Brandon Cisse play with a lot of grass. I mean, because Williams can route up just about anybody, in my opinion. I think he's a really good route runner. He is the most reliable target with his hands, catching the ball, not dropping it. So put TJ Moore on the outside, let him cook. Judge Collier was abused last year by TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco. He's going to be looking for revenge. He's had a pretty good year this year. Jalen Kilgore is another one. Their nickelback. He's gotten a lot better. But Brandon Cisse is their war daddy in the defensive backfield. And that's one guy we got to watch. Bakari Swain is his backup. He's pretty freaking good too. He had the pick against Marcel Reed in the end zone. This team has not quit. The South Carolina team has not quit. So if we think we're just going to run in there and they're going to roll over because they're 4-7, buddy, you got another thing coming. But they're linebackers. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I also think it would be pretty stupid. I'll just say stupid. to not have some sort of package for Denson. I really do.
Absolutely.
Like you have to make them like defend it. You have to throw something at them that we haven't really showed this year. I remember whenever Cade was injured against SMU and Vizina was going to start, we caught wind that they were, installing packages for Denson to use his leg. And then SMU game comes around and they run one play with Chris Denson, basically like a QB power for 1 yard, and then we don't see him again, right? So I think that they need to take that a little bit more seriously and create more of a wrinkle or more of a package for Chris Denson and let the kid go do something, let him see if he can do it in a big moment. Let him see if he can, create some juice and create a spark in the offense, especially if you're struggling in the run game. Like if you're playing a quarter and a half and you got like 30 something yards on the ground, like let's try something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you look about it, South Carolina's played, let's see, Virginia Tech has a rushing quarterback. Vanderbilt has a rushing quarterback. Missouri had a rushing quarterback. Oklahoma has a rushing quarterback. Ole Miss, I wouldn't call him a rushing quarterback. And Texas A&M. So statistically, those quarterbacks, hold on, let me look this up. Let me get the exact number. So Virginia Tech, I have to clip this. Hold, please. Okay. Kyron Jones against South Carolina had, why is this not loading? "26 yards carried, or 26 yards rushing on 12 carries. Not a good day. Okay. So you're thinking that South Carolina is going to be pretty good at stopping the run on these rushing quarterbacks. Well, then you come over to Diego Pavia. 24 yards rushing on 11 carries. Similar day. I think Bo Perbula was still playing. Yes, he was when they played South Carolina, Missouri. And that was a close game. So, if you're going to win, maybe your quarterback has to rush some. Bo Perbula had 72 yards rushing. Okay. So now we're starting to ease into that game plan where that people are identifying, hey, if we're going to beat South Carolina, we need to run the football. And they ran the football phenomenally. 285 yards rushing against Carolina. Ahmad Hardy had 138. Jamal Roberts, their second string, had 76. And Bo Perbula had 72. So they got after that a little bit. You get down to Ole Miss. Ole Miss, they still had John Mateer as an injured quarterback. So both Missouri and not Ole Miss, Oklahoma could not throw the football. Missouri threw for 170 yards against South Carolina. Oklahoma threw for 150, so about the same. But John Mateer only had 14 yards rushing. However, that was like the first game all year that Oklahoma had a 100-yard rusher. Then you get to Texas A&M and Marcel Reed. Well, they were up 27-3, so Marcel Reed probably had to sling the ball a lot to win this game. Let's get the last one.
30-3. 30-3.
30-3, yes. Thank you. Get that right. Yeah, Marcel Reed only ran for 13 yards. So there hasn't really been a team with a quarterback being able to run the football. And I don't know if...
And Cade's not going to be able to do it. Cade's not even 100%.
He's still in one leg. This is not the Cade Klubnik of last year. I don't know if he got out of the weight room or if it's because he's been hurt, because even before he was injured, he was not running the football that great or that well. Right. So if you put Denson in there, you have to think he's going to run the football. And people haven't. Bo Perbula is the only one who's been successful all year running the football against South Carolina as a quarterback. And they've played a fair share of run-first quarterbacks. So I don't know. I'm worried about Denson going out there because of that. But in the same breath, you have to think, hey, if we put Denson out there a few times, run it, you have an opportunity to hit one over the top. Let him sling.
Yeah, it's more of just throwing the kitchen sink, man. I mean, just there's no reason to hold anything back now. It's not like you're hiding film for the bowl game. So anything that you can come up with this week, let the guys have some fun with it. I mean, I think you got to do it.
I mean, and they were still being vanilla with Chris Denson in there, and he still made it work against Furman. So you have to think Chris Denson is going to find a way. He had 2 opportunities. He's had 8 opportunities all year to move the football. 2 against SMU, 6 against Furman. And he was flawless against Furman. Again, it's Furman, but he looked flawless when the rest of the team did not. Dustin, my keys to success on offense. Clemson is 75th in the country in red zone offense. 75th. We've been to the red zone 31 times. We've scored 84% of the time, 19 touchdowns, 7 field goals. So that's a 61% touchdown rate, which is butt cheeks. Capital B, stinky C. Right? Terrible. Clemson needs to be 100%. When they get in the red zone in this game, don't give the ball to freaking Peter Woods. Don't get cute. Find a way to get in the freaking end zone. And if you don't, come away with points. We've proven in the last few matchups that all you have to do is come away with points when you get the opportunity. Last year against South Carolina in the red zone, we were 2 for 4. 2 turnovers, a fumble from Phil Maffa, and a pick from Cade. And the other 2 were touchdowns. You've got it. You've got to win in the red zone. So I think Clemson needs to be 100% scoring, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. But I think 80% of the time it needs to be a touchdown. If we're going to beat this team, we got to jump on them and jump on them early. And you don't jump on anybody kicking field goals. You know what field goals do? Field goals win games, but they keep the other team in the game. Touchdowns put people away. I need to see that.
Field goals are failures.
Field goals are failures in this game. Field goals are failures. Can't throw interceptions. South Carolina is 23rd in the country in interceptions forced. They have 11 on the year. Cade Klubnik cannot be careless with the football. I know he loves to be careless with the football. I know he loves to hyper target somebody and just throw it and just see if the guy wins. South Carolina will take advantage of that. They have done it all year. They if there's any bright spot on that South Carolina roster, it's their defensive backs. They are phenomenal. They play really, really good football. And then the game needs to be won on third down. We need to keep drives alive to protect our pass defense from converting 75% of our third downs. So our pass defense has struggled. We are 100th in the country in pass defense. I know I just said that out loud. I know it hurts. But it's a fact. We got to keep them off the field. And by doing that, you got to sustain drives. So you got to win the time of possession. Defense is the key to success, Dustin. What we got to see.
Well, I just want a disclaimer, just because you gave me PTSD talking about Maffa fumbling. With the
it wasn't a fumble, by the way. It was not a fumble, but
with the dents and stuff, I just want us to run the quarterback is what I want to do. If you have momentum and you're moving the ball offensively against South Carolina, do not get cute and run trick plays. Do not huddle up on a kickoff return or a safety punt, like nothing. Like, do not run trick plays if you have the momentum. Let's just avoid trick plays entirely on special teams. I don't want to see fake field goals. I don't want to see fake punts.
Wait, I don't care if they do as long as they work. That's my disclaimer.
Yeah, well, man, I just can't see another one of those, man. It's like so many years in a row of just special teams mishaps or trying to run a double reverse fumble. Anyways, just my disclaimer for the offense. Don't get too many ideas. I know you guys watch Inside the Valley, obviously. My keys to success, really, it's not brain surgery. I mean, like, you literally just have to make that offense snap the ball as much as possible. You just have to keep everything in front of you. Do not let them have these 75-yard touchdowns to Nick Harper. Do not let Lanorris Sellers clip you off for 36 yards on a scramble. Like, if they're gonna beat you, just make them like dink and dunk down the field. And if that's what they're gonna do, that's what they're gonna do. Make them make mistakes, basically. Like, if you give them 2-play, 6-play drives, it's gonna be a long day because
go ahead.
I just don't think we're going to be able to match it. Like, I think the last thing you want to do is to get in a shootout with this team where you have to match them for touchdowns for touchdowns.
In South Carolina, they're about 7.5 yards per attempt, and they're about 12. They're 12.3 yards per completion. So when they do complete passes, they're pretty big plays. Yeah, let's keep those at bay. 20+ yard plays at a minimum. 15+ yard plays at a minimum, I would say. I mean, if they're going to get their big plays. Don't let them be more than 15. Mine, very similar. Can't let Sellers beat you with his legs. That's what he does. That's what he does best. That's what he did last year to beat us. His touchdown run is running through my head over and over again. I think I gave my kids PTSD after that play. And I think we should have a similar game plan to Florida State. Have Sammy Brown out there. Have 3 linebackers out there at all times. And have somebody following Lanorris Sellers. Make it Sammy Brown. All we talked about last year was why was Sammy Brown off the field in that fourth quarter? Why was Sammy Brown off the field in that fourth quarter, specifically that last drive? Make it right. Make it right. You have an opportunity to make it right in front of their fans. Keep Harbor's yards per catch under 20 yards. So if Nick Harbor is asked to catch the ball a lot, he will not have a good day. If he is asked to catch the ball 15 yards plus down the field, 20 yards plus down the field, he will have a phenomenal day. That is what he does. That is his bread and butter. He could take a slant route to the house if he catches it. His hands are not consistent. They've gotten better throughout the year. I'm not going to sit here and bash the man. But if he gets behind the defense, which he will at points in this game, you can't let him catch it. DPI his ass, right? We can't have it happening. And what stinks is you can't just put Avion Terrell on him because they have his brother, forgetting his name, Jaden Sellers. There we go. They have Vandrevius Jacobs. You know, some pretty good, some pretty decent receivers. Brian Rowe, who I think is going to end up being a good football player there. Donovan Murph. Guys, I hope you remember that Donovan Murph was trying to choose between Clemson and Carolina, and naturally chose South Carolina in our face. So let's there's nobody we're going to stick Avion Terrell on and just say go win. If anything, I don't know what you do with Nick Harbor. This out at all times, and you pray to God that they can open their hips and run. This will not be a good game for our safeties.
No.
And if it is, it's a blowout.
Yeah, that is that's the big concern there is that South Carolina finds a way to get the matchups they want, like especially like if they run a lot of 10 personnel or something and get whoever they want matched up with one of our safeties. I think it's going to be a long day.
I wish they would have. You know what would be really nice for South Carolina to do for Thanksgiving? Mike Shula is struggling right now. It'd be really nice if they brought him back on for this game, just for Thanksgiving, for old time's sake. I'd like for him to be calling plays. And then last time I'm calling for this. I already spoiled a little bit earlier on. We need 10 plus TFLs. We need them. The big plays need to happen. We need to suck the life from this team in front of their fans. Have them chanting slurs to our team. Excuse me, not slurs. Preferably cuss words, not slurs. The times where I played them in my tenure, they were not yelling slurs. They were yelling slanderous terms, such as "F you, Dabo," and all these other wonderful things. Not slurs. Did not hear any slurs while I was there. I want to go and put that out there. I need to cut this. I need to cut this part. That's pretty bad.
Chanting slurs.
Chanting slurs. You know what? If they're chanting slurs, we don't need to go there. We need them chanting profanity. Let's just say that. Let's make it really easy for them. Let's change the first letter. Profanity. Because if they're chanting profanity, we're doing good. We're doing well. Closing thoughts, Dustin. What you got?
Well,
Any slurs? Any slurs you got for us?
Slurs up.
That was good.
Oh man. Yeah, man. It's just one of those games you kind of look forward to it all year. I know it's not where either team want to be, but I'm looking forward to it, man. It's sucks that it's at noon. I always like when these games are at night, but it's going to be the same time as Ohio State, Michigan. Like I never relegate Clemson to the quad box. Like if Clemson's playing it, they get the full screen, right?
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I don't know, man. They may get quad box on Saturday.
Remember, this is a foxhole.
I know, man, but seriously, like it's going to be tough for me. It's going to be
Dustin,
tough for me.
You and I in the foxhole on Saturday. Slurs up. We're getting it after it this weekend. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe. Do not use slurs. It is not a good thing. Have a great Thanksgiving. Make sure you fry your turkey. Make sure it's not frozen when you put it in there. Don't want any water. Take the bag of all the giblets out of there before you fry it. Fun fact: I've fried the bag of giblets before. Not a good thing. Take the turkey neck, put it in your pants, make a joke around the family. Have a good time. Enjoy this time of year. This is the best weekend of college football outside of week one. Week one and hate week are the two best, right? Week one because we've been waiting all freaking year, and then hate week. You get to take it to your boys. Houses are divided. Communities are divided. States are divided. Businesses are divided. we're gonna have a hell of a weekend, Dustin. We're gonna be in the foxhole. Anything else?
Let's do it, man.
Let's freaking do it. All right. See you in the next one.